Twitchy, I met this little girlie. Her hair was kinda curly. Went to her house to bust a nut, but poor me, I came early. I thought these girls were easy. I'm sounding kinda wheezy. We just get nervous. Ain't no perverts. Now eat this fucking cookie. Chris Henson, watch me dancing. I've got ants inside my pants. It's twitchy.
In the perverted justice system, podcast-based interview shows are considered especially entertaining. In Bowling Green, the dedicated TCAPists that investigate these pedophiles are members of an elite squad known as CawdCast. These are their stories.
Cawd! Welcome back, everybody. I am your host, the one who knocks, Heisenberg White, and this is CawdCast 5. With me today are a bunch of my druggy friends who know a thing or two about law enforcement. But before we introduce them, I'd like to take this moment to thank some of our sponsors who make this show possible. Spring is here, and summer is just around the corner. No more wearing underwear for 2 or 3 days straight. It's hot outside. Let Dustin McFetridge Landscaping Services shave your bushes and plant a big old tree right in your backyard.
The backyard, he says.
Dustin's, we thought you was wanting to be shaved down there.
That never gets old.
We here at CawdCast encourage you to consider donating to a very worthwhile charity, Grandpas Without Boners, an organization where retired men volunteer to promote literacy abroad. Donations are used for plane tickets to Cambodia and printed literature. If you are not comfortable with a cash donation, please consider donating a copy of the book that will be used for the next overseas session. Follow the link in the description to purchase Handjobs, Volume 7. Conservative parents everywhere are disturbed with the recent surge in acceptance of gay and lesbian relationships in America. If you're worried that your son or daughter may be prone to homosexual witchcraft, send them to Anthony Palumbo's gay conversion camp. Mr. Palumbo uses a series of conversion strategies that relate to the kids of today. For example, by exposing them to heterosexual themes and messages of popular shows like Dragon Ball Z, Palumbo will convert your child into a well-functioning straight member of society. Palumbo's homosexual conversion therapy camp. You won't be gay or anything, just Super Saiyan. And we understand that planning for the passing of a family member can sometimes be overwhelming. That's why you should trust the kind folks over at Stacy's Funeral Home. Stacy's. Death. It's all we have. It's all we need. It's all we want. As I said before, I'm Heisenberg White, and with me today are several esteemed members of the TCAP community, and I'd like to thank them for joining me, and I would also like them to introduce themselves in order of closest birthday.
Hello, everyone. It's Brother Josh.
Brother Josh, when is your birthday?
2 weeks.
Oh, happy early birthday.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
This is High Priestess Ember, and my birthday's in May.
What up, guys? This is Mista GG. My birthday is also in May.
Mike V, my birthday was March 27th. Turns out today is not my birthday.
Nice. This is Joey. I was born in November.
That's the month that most serial killers were born. Fun fact.
Nice.
Exactly.
This your boy Lantic City, and I was born in October.
Neat. Well, happy early birthday to everybody. Happy birthday
Appreciate
all around. This is your host, Heisenberg White, and my birthday is Bastille Day. I share a birthday with the nation of France, July 14th. All right, guys. A little fun fact about myself. Well, all right. Without further ado, I would like to turn our discussion over to Ember, who I think has prepared a little bit of a little guessing game for us. Isn't that right, Ember?
I sure have, and thank you so much for that introduction. All right, guys. Well, Here we go. I have for you some names of predators, and you are going to have to tell me which one of these names is not really a Predator name. Are we ready? We're ready. Let's go. Calvin Lee Greer, Jean-Pierre Michael Wiltsey Weary, Raymond Anthony Palumbo, James Travis Fowler. Which one of those is not a true Predator name?
Palumbo.
I have to say Palumbo because it was no coincidence that you picked Raymond.
Very good. I didn't even think of that when I chose it. Actually, I Googled his name, and so many Raymond Anthony and Anthony Raymond Palumbos came up.
Are you telling me that there's a chance that Anthony Palumbo is Ray Romano?
I think there's more than a chance.
They're at least related.
Just saying.
All right.
That was a good one. You got another one?
I do. I have a question for you. Which one of these predators got skinny? We knew of them when they were dumpy and frumpy and had their man boobs flopping for us on To Catch a Predator, but now they're not so fat. Who got skinny? Auto Video, David Demers, Bald Beaver Hunter, John Wesley Elliott, or Lee Greer?
Demers is that now. Bald Beaver Hunter got a little bit rough looking. He looked like he worked out in the can.
No way is it Lee Greer.
Lee Greer, John Wesley Elliott, and David Demers all experienced a drastic weight loss, and I'll be sharing those photos. You can probably see them now if you're watching the CawdCast. Take a look at your screen and you'll see a thinner David Demers, a thinner John Wesley Elliott, and a thinner Lee Greer, but Auto Video, my tubby love, is fat again, just like I like him. So thank you very much, David Demers. Skinny did not look good on you.
Thank you for preparing all that.
You're welcome.
Dude looks like fucking Anton LaVey.
That he does, and that's what I love about him. That was Trivia with Ember. Thank you so much for playing my game.
Until next time.
Gentlemen.
Have a good night. Oh, yeah.
Gentlemen, have a good night.
Hey, I got a real head scratcher for y'all. It's fun to sit back and just make fun of these weird guys, as we do every day. But sometimes you catch something that they say or do or write in the footage of the original show that makes you say, you know what? If I was in that situation, I would probably do that too. My question to you is, what predator are you most like or share traits with?
All right, this is a rather obscure predator from Riverside. I know he did some sort of like kidnap shit, like some crazy messed up shit later on. But at the time of the sting, I would like to say that he made an excuse that maybe I would have made if I had ever had been in that situation, and that would be Mr. Paul Constantinescu. He was a guitar salesman. I'm not a guitar salesman, but I play guitar, so there's something we kind of have in common. And his excuse was kind of like, oh, I got the age wrong. I thought it was 24. That's why I came over. I was talking to different. I guess I was looking in the wrong chat window or something like that. So his computer kind of, flipped out, and that's basically it.
Very good. Brother Josh, what do you say?
You know, man, I'm probably going to embarrass myself saying this, but I got to say Schumacher. There's something about Freebird. When I was his age, I was kind of a fuck up, and I could see myself going over to someone's house and being like, yo, I just came over to get the girl, go to the party, dude. Get some green, and smoke some, and get some,
What's interesting about his excuse was that it's almost not wrong. He did make plans to take her out of the house and go to the party and smoke weed and do all these other things.
He just came to get the girl, go to the party, dude. And 2 words, role-playing chat room. So, I think
2 words, role-playing chat room dude.
Yeah, role-playing chat room dude. And, I think legally he covered all his bases, but, just that corrupt, court system down there in Fort Myers, they put him through the ringer there. So,
Ember, how about yourself?
I would have to say, because I'm barely 5 feet tall, and I will molest you, molester Beck. But I also share Malik Washington's trait of getting lost really easily. So I think he doubled back a few times and went down the block more than once, the wrong block, I think. And I'll do that without my GPS. So those are the two predators with whom I share traits.
Mr. GG, how about yourself?
Can I just say this is a really fucked up question to begin with?
It
like,
sure is.
Which predator do you have the most in common with? Like, all right. But this is easy, actually. Michael Lebrano, hands down. Not so much the complete lack of self-confidence, but if I ever got caught up in an investigation, I'm not leaving without giving Chris Hansen a fucking pound. So, definitely Michael Lebrano, hands down.
Nice. Lantic City, how about yourself?
Yeah.
Well, I want to say that I'm most like Maurice Wolin because I spill shit all the time, but Gregory Stewart would probably be the guy I'd go with because he offered Chris the pizza. I mean, what else are you going to do in that situation?
Hey, what a pal you are.
Yeah, what a pal. I would have probably did the exact same thing. Like, if I brought a pizza, I'm not even sure I would have brought a pizza, but if I did, I would have been like, you can have the pizza. Just, because he was just fishing for things, avenues to
I've
get
said it
out of
before.
shit, but-
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. No matter what situation I'm in, I'm not giving anybody my fucking pizza. It's my pizza. I'm gonna eat it. I'm gonna eat it right in front of Chris, like the fucking Hanson versus Predator guy.
Well,
I'm just gonna
in his
enjoy
defense,
the
he
shit out of it.
He probably thought he was going to be able to get another one.
There's always more pizzas. All right, Joey, how about yourself?
I used to get beat up all the time. And Ember, you can share these pictures. Number one, I always had a black eye or some shit. Thomas Bodnar from Riverside.
Oh, Bodner, the one who got fucked up.
Riverside.
I love that picture of him with his arm
The
in
one
the
that got
sling.
fucked up in the arm of the
Oh,
sling?
yeah, and the black eye. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm. That was me. And I just shared a picture there. And like our friend down in Florida, Michael Willis, I appreciate the short shorts. And I was always a big fan of the Nut Huggers back in the day.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my.
Hell yeah. Myself, I think I would probably share the most in common with Dan Allen, only because outside of sharing a name, maybe, he kind of laughed the whole time, and he tried to make light of the situation. He tried to make jokes the whole time. He tried to be funny, and I feel like that's how I handle most stressful situations. Is I kind of just try to laugh it off. I don't take myself too seriously. Fortunately, I haven't found myself in the same situation that Dan has. But if I ever was in that terrible, terrible situation, I would handle it like I handle most things and just kind of not laugh it off, but try to use humor as a tool to kind of diffuse the situation. That's the only way. I can't just start break down and crying, right then and there. That's just not like me. I'm like Dan. I like to laugh. I like to, whoa, wait a minute. I like to have a good laugh every now and then.
And you have some good friends that you've never met.
Oh yeah, I'm an importer-exporter.
You got those friends in Davao City, Philippines. There help you out with that stuff.
I meet like 30-year-old guys who have a good laugh on me.
God.
Well, that answers that question. Hey, I want to hit you all randomly real quick. I just had a thought. It has almost nothing to do with what we've just been talking about, but can any of you guys name off the top of your head the best Chris Hansen one-liner?
No hug for me.
Extra
I have to think
sensitive.
about that. I don't know.
I got one. His one-liner that absolutely always cracks me up every time. I don't know if it's necessarily a one-liner, but when Schumacher puts his shirt over his face and he just goes, he quickly comes up with a disguise. That every time gets me.
I guess, you know what, if I had to say one, I would say it wasn't originally aired on the show. We've only, gotten this many years later, but I love it's a classic in my opinion. Here's a good one. Is Miss Vagina thinking about Mr. Penis? What is she thinking? And he goes, what's up with that?
Yeah. And I'll add from that same Lauren complete footage is when Lauren starts talking and Chris cuts him off and teases his many syllables and says, what?
Well, I think I know why you did it. You did it because you wanted to have sex with a 13-year-old girl.
I don't think that.
No, what?
What? He said something.
But also with Corey Edgar, when Corey Edgar's talking about you're coming out here to meet a 102-year-old. And Corey says, that's not what I'm saying.
Sounds like what you're
Just
saying.
kind of low-key says, that sounds like what you're saying.
That's it.
Also, it's a 102-year-old woman you thought you were coming to sexually please.
Why can't people just be honest?
I told her to leave me alone. Do not message me. What does she do? She keeps messaging me, trying to get an older guy to come over.
He's pouring himself a drink. He does not think he's going to have a good day.
Why does Yahoo let these people on?
I think for me, and the only thing that would have made it better, I'm pretty sure it's Brian Gosling. Somebody can correct me. When he comes out, I wish he would have just started rolling up his sleeves like he's about to kick ass when he goes, the only problem with that is you're not going to need that kind of protection tonight. I wanted him to start beating the shit out of him right after he said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wine coolers are just fine.
Yeah.
I know, the house is beautiful. I love my house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, did you bring protection?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You're the only child?
My God.
But that's got to be one of the creepiest lines, I think, is, are you the only child?
You got any more kids around?
Just the way he delivers it and everything.
Oh, yeah. All right. All right, moving on. We're gonna throw things back to Ember, who I think has a couple of exclusive text messages she would like to share with the group. What do you say, Ember?
Oh, I certainly have. So I was going through my archives a few weeks ago, and I found a bunch of text messages that Lauren sent me, and I think they're kind of funny. So let me just go ahead and read. This one's from March 17th, 2016. What are you doing? I'm paying bills. I found the original handwritten copy that I wrote when I was in jail of my book, Taken Abroad. It doesn't have the ending. How many people do you think will buy my underwear? Can I make sure there's skid marks in them first? I'm just kidding. I am not selling my underwear. I need them, LOL. How about the scarf I bought and wore in prison? How about my friend Emma's autograph on these items? Here is a picture for E. By the way, E's short for Emma. And he sent me a picture, and after no response, exclamation point. Guess my friend is busy. So that's a nice little screen cap I'm sharing.
Need to be focused full screen CawdCast the whole time because you never know what you're gonna miss. Wow, that I mean,
do you want some more?
I'd like to say that surprises me about Lauren, but it sure doesn't. I would definitely like to hear some more.
All right,
I'd like to hear it up close so I can get a better listen to it.
Here's the next one. March 14th, 2016. I don't understand why people have become so infatuated with me. It makes me feel weird. When is your first break? 5 minutes later. Call me on your first break, okay? 7 minutes later. Just call me. 9 minutes after that one. Just call me. Oh well. Okay. So that was March 14th. He has a way with words. I'm in bed right now. That's March 28th. I'm pissed. I'm not going to get home until late tonight because of a bunch of stupid fucks. Well, I am the one who forgot to get the sample before I left. So, just for some context here, he actually delivers wood chips, and if he doesn't get a sample of the wood chips to turn in with his time card or whatever, he gets admonished, and I've been put on hold before, and he comes back very upset that his boss had told him off for that. So those are some Lauren texts. I have some more for next time. These next ones start with, I got stopped by a cop.
Ooh, looking forward to that. Thanks for sharing those.
You're very welcome.
All right, guys. Here's another interesting question I'd like to throw out there.
everybody, I mean, you ask anybody in this community, they have a hands down favorite predator. As weird and fucked up as that is, there's somebody who catches their interest so much that they like to devote a lot of time to analyzing or watching the footage or making videos about. Sometimes it's Lorne, sometimes it's anybody else, but I would like to know, among you guys, which predator are you low-key obsessed with? Who do you have a great interest in but haven't made a lot of content about or talked about a lot? Or who's the flavor of the month here? Who piques your interest? Why don't we start with Joey? Go ahead.
The flavor of the month.
I did make a video about him 6 months ago, Riverside, a guy that wasn't on the original broadcast, but we have his uncut footage, was Corey Ahia. And I don't know, because he's just like a regular guy, the kind of guy that, I know people that look like him and act like him. But I could watch his stuff over and over and over and over again. And I made a half an hour talking about him, too. But I just can't get enough of watching his low, very slow burn as he realizes what's going on. And it doesn't think it can air because he didn't sign anything. And it's just amazing. It's the kind of thing you watch it once and people say, oh, it's boring. But you watch it 2 or 3 times, or like me, 200 or 300 times. It gets so good.
What's your favorite thing about him? What's the absolute defining thing about him?
It's kind of like, a really good wine where there's just so many little flavors going on. You can't pinpoint the one exact thing that makes you enjoy it so much. But it's just got to be his slow realization that he's getting screwed.
Huh, interesting. Mr. GG, how about yourself?
I have a really stupid answer to this. I would have to say James Fowler. Reason being, if you follow my content at all, the pedal mix I have for episode 9, part of the pedal mix, one of the breakdowns, has James Fowler's face in it, where Chris is like, oh, I gotta tell you who I am. And that part, I really enjoy it. And for some reason, I associate that, like, feeling of glee with fucking James. So I end up really liking James Fowler for no apparent reason. And at the same time, I pretty much always want to make a James Fowler big dick joke in my episodes. So it's really, in a really heterosexual way, that's probably why I'm low-key obsessed with James.
Huh. Brother Josh, go ahead.
Yes, sir. I just want to preface this by saying, I love watching the predators who take their predicament really hard. The ones that break down crying, the ones that sob, the ones that know their world is crumbling around them and they just can't control it. They can't control their horny level, as it were. So the one that I always kind of find myself gravitating towards is Mr. Timmons, Ernest Timmons. He starts sweating profusely, and he makes up this completely implausible bullshit story about, his friend told him to come take the picture. What's your friend's name? Oh, a guy named Kevin. What's Kevin's last? What? He's the guy, this guy's flustered. He's caught in a big bullshit lie. And, the sobbing or the sweating rather, and then, what he there's something I got to tell you. I'm Chris Hansen. And then he, please, sir. And then he goes outside, he's crying. And I don't know, I really get a kick out of watching the predators who take that predicament very hard. And I think he pretty much encapsulates that whole genre of predator for me.
Isn't it funny that I said, like, who are you obsessed with? And you all were like, oh, yeah, it's this guy. It's a weird obsession that we have.
Well, try explaining this to, like, a girlfriend or something, Like,
right? Oh, it's tough. But, Lantic City, how about yourself?
I think if you could tell from my last appearance on the CawdCast, I'm kind of obsessed with Jerry Wayne Martin Kosis. He's got a lot of quotables. And it's so many awkward situations. Yeah. Parts he gets like kind of backed in with Chris Hansen, and when Chris Hansen yells at him or whatever he did, and then Jerry turns around and says, "No, it's not," or some shit like that. Like he just
is that the guy who
way like is that the guy really awkward?
Oh man. Now, I don't want to cause a feud here, but I'd love to hear the Mike V versus Lantic City Jerry Wayne Martin Kosis impression. Yes. Go ahead, have a conversation, guys.
We can do that.
Go ahead.
Had a good walk today, most likely. Help out with, I'll help you out with homework and stuff. I work for do you work for the Parks Department?
From Riverside. I was trying to say hi and maybe made a friend, but I think I might have got the wrong address.
The wrong address? Well, likely.
Mike, do you have a predator you're low-key obsessed with?
Yeah, I like I said, I like how you stated it, flavor of the month. So mine kind of always changes. I'll focus on one at a time every couple of weeks or so. I do like to see, as was previously said, I like to see guys dwell in their own predicaments. So I'll stick with another Jersey Predator, and I will say I always love seeing John Donnelly get the business from Chris when he gets all pissed off and everything. He's like, but he thinks he's, getting away with it. And he's just like, The Daily Show. It's like the news, but it makes fun of the news, So, and who do I blame liking John Donnelly? Myself, for being so stupid. So, John Donnelly.
It's one of those good news, bad news situations, John.
Well, I wanted to go to school for sports broadcasting.
Oh, wait. Remind me, who's the guy that had just served a tour of duty, ... with the post office?
Ernest, no, not
that was Eugene Daly.
Eugene
Daly.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Chris. It's going to ruin me,
Chris.
It's going to ruin me, Chris.
Oh, my God. I like Cam.
I'm 43. 53.
I like, who I really like Nathan Downhauer. If you couldn't tell, I love me a good Nathan Downhauer. But the one Predator who I just seem to be coming back to, especially the interrogation footage, is Dustin McFitridge. I can, if I wake up in the middle of the night restless and I can't fall back to sleep, I will plug my earphones in and listen to Dustin tell me he's just being honest. Just go. I mean, it's such a long video. It's such a long, amazing video.
I don't like lawyers.
Yeah, I might have a light gun for a video game system. He's so precious. Oh, he's so adorable. He's a terrible threat to society, but he's so adorable. Oh my God. Oh, I love him so. And you know who else? Who has great interrogation footage? I think in part because of the interrogator, is Bald Beaver Hunter. That's a great what a great you take his original footage, unedited, he's memorable at the least, and then like I said before, he tries to add humor to diffuse the situation. Sent to an island, he tried that might be a nervous laugh, but still, it's hilarious. I love him. Who's Ember? Do you have a low-key Predator that you're kind of obsessed with?
I do. I'm a little bit obsessed with William Rowell, Wolf Knight 30, I think. Also, Bear in Wolf's Fur. He's the one who named off all of the movies in his collection, and he said, now I'll tell you the reason that I'm obsessed with him. It's because of this. I haven't had sex, but I do like sex.
I haven't had sex, but I do like sex.
That guy is the same guy who walks into the house and says, you didn't have to take a shower. Like he wants some stinky, musty twat. And then he proceeds to follow her into the room and says, well, I can't go in any room with you. And I thought that was so brave and he felt emboldened, I guess, that she was in a towel. So he followed her as a virgin. That was pretty smooth.
You didn't have to take a shower.
No, but I got plenty of movies here.
I have The Pacifier, The Village, 13 Ghosts, Stealth.
What, I can't go to your room with you?
Saw 2, that's just for some, but Saw 2 is yes. I got The Longest Yard, Assault on Precinct 13, Kiss of Death, Simon Says, Universal Soldier, Half Past Death, Blade Trilogy, Fantastic Four, Alone in the Dark, Doom, Soldiers, Ugly, Training Day, Collateral Damage, Lord of War, Electrica, Sin City, Life or something like that, which is a chick flick, Resident Evil, Apocalypse Now, Constantine, Jurassic Park 3, The Transporter, I have Serenity, Ghosts of Mars, I have Baltic Monk, I have Bewitched, I have Red Dragon, Witch Master, Witch Master 2, and The Punch.
And of course I got the two pornos. two pornos.
Wow, you do have a lot of movies.
Not really.
No, I don't blame you. I love that. I love that you don't. But you know what? I'm amazed that they didn't try that towel technique more often. That's a good excuse to like get out. You're outside. You say, "Hey, I'm like already almost naked," and then you just get out of there because you don't want to be outside. If the predator comes and sees you're already almost naked, they're gonna gun it inside. I'm sure.
Right, and I think they made a mistake with just doing the hair wrap in the towel when they could have just had the decoy in the towel, and it's quite fetching, I think, for a predator who wants to have sex with a little girl to. I think that would have made for good TV, but it probably would have terrified the decoys.
Another one I want to throw at you. You don't have to explain yourself if you don't want to, but who's a predator whose name you hear and you just cringed in anger? Somebody that you absolutely hate more than anybody else. Lantic City, go ahead.
Kevin Westerbeck.
Why?
I just hate that. I don't know, man. I think a lot of it has to do with him already offending, and he's here about to go into jail on Thursday, I believe it was, right? He was about to go to jail already, and he's here a couple of days or weeks before then, and he's essentially trying to do the same thing that he's already headed to jail for. And
fair enough. Yeah, Joey, go ahead.
Clifford Wallach. He was the only one to bring his little kid with him, and that really just pissed me off.
Enough said. Honestly, yeah. No, that pisses me off too. Ember, do you have somebody that you hate more than anybody?
Well, Bodner, because he had previously molested a little boy who is cognitively disabled. I think he got to the whole family. If I remember the interview correctly, he's a total piece of shit. I can't even think of doing a song or a parody about him because he's just so disgusting to me.
Brother Josh, how about yourself?
Oh, you know what? Maddie fucking Nash. I hate Maddie Nash. Yeah, the thing about Maddie Nash, I'm sorry, you guys all have these like really deep, legitimate reasons to hate the predators that you chose, but mine is just simply, I hate the way he goes when she asks if he brought the weed, and he's like, no, like that. I just want to kick him, He's just, ugh. So fuck Maddie Nash.
Mike V, who's somebody that you hate more than anybody else?
James fucking Rutherford. And I
agree. Go ahead.
James Rutherford. First of all, he has a punchable. I'm sorry, you guys have never seen me or heard me angry or rant before, but it's first time for everything. So James Rutherford, because first of all, he has a punchable face, and he looks like a douchebag, sounds like a douchebag, talks like a douchebag. He's a teacher, has a good job apparently. He can somehow afford a fucking Corvette. Okay, has his life together and all this fucking crap, blah, 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 blah. Then he ruins it. And then he uses Chris Hansen in the Dateline crew for like a fucking 2-hour free counseling session just to avoid the inevitability of him getting arrested. Then he gets arrested, gets out of jail, and then he's back on the market and he gets a girlfriend? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, Jesus Christ, didn't he get remarried or something?
Yeah.
He owes that to his good look.
And his peers.
She's cute, but she's got crazy eyes.
I could be your teacher. Man, I don't know if I'm the only one who really fucking hates Stephen Benoff, but I really fucking hate Stephen Benoff. And I don't know how to put it into words, but the fact that he pretends to be so oblivious to everything that's happening. Oh, 13? Oh, no, he didn't. No, he didn't say that. I have the transcript right fucking here that says he did. And he says it over and over again. 13. Well, he said he was 23. Fuck that guy. And I wish there was a nice, satisfying footage of his arrest, and unfortunately there isn't, and that really pisses me off. But, yeah, I am not...
One question, though. One question.
Yeah.
Did you bring pantyhose?
Oh, yeah.
Wink, nod, yeah.
Wink, nod.
Condoms. That's evidence.
Mr. GG, who's a predator that you hate so much with all your heart?
I am going to stick by the man, the myth, the legend, Mike Manzi. He's just, there's one point the whole fucking interview, he's just getting my dick in a twist. But the real pinnacle of the interview is when Chris asked him, so what's the lesson here today? And he says, well, unfortunately, not to care about other people. Like, he tries to flip the script, acting like he's a fucking victim, but he's not. He's just a sick fucking math tutor that was just trying to get with underage kids, and it really plays his cards right. And I fucking hate that he was able to play his cards so good that he got off with a lenient sentence. He's a piece of shit, and he should be treated as such.
Yeah, Manzi was a scummy fucker. He was a scummy, slick fucker.
Why does he have no eyebrows?
He's a fucking freak, that's why.
He's so weird. All right, guys. All right, I got one more for you guys. If you could interview a family member featured on, mentioned in, or that you know about from this show, who would it be and why? Who do you want to know a little bit more about what they're up to or what their involvement was with the Predator featured on the show?
I already know. I didn't have to think about this at all. Donald Morrison's mother, because I want to know if she took his computer and completely threw it away.
He took mine, man.
I'm sorry, dude. Sorry.
That's okay. That's all right.
I really want to know, did you take his computer and completely throw it away? And, like, if so, what was Donnie's reaction to that? Like, how bad did he fucking freak out? Did he freak out like the kid, the greatest freak out ever kid from, like, 7 or 8 years ago on YouTube? Like, tried to ram the TV remote up his butt while he's freaking out or whatever.
I'm gonna run away! I'm gonna run away and never come back! I'm gonna go away and never come back! I swear! You'll never see me again!
What computer do you think Donnie Morrison was using? A Windows like 95, like old big fucking monitor,
like a compact, Presario or whatever. Like one of those big beige CRT monitors, you know?
Yeah. Ember, how about yourself?
I would say, well, I did actually have access to an interview with Hamburger's daughter. And the whole idea of interviewing the family members of the Predators just kind of went flat for me after I heard how sad the story was and all of the abuse that she and her siblings were subjected to it. It's just kind of tough to listen to that and still kind of laugh at Hamburger and, you know, what a sick fuck he is, you know, in your brain, and everything is filtered through that. So that was my answer before, but now I'd kind of want to interview Westerbeck's mom and ask her how much money she saved never having to buy new clothes when he outgrew them, because he didn't.
Oh, Jesus.
Right. Joey, go ahead.
It would have to be Jean-Pierre Michael Wiltsey Weary's ex-wife. He was married to a much younger woman for about 4 or 5 years, until she found out that he was a registered sex offender and left him. And this was a few years before the sting happened. And I would love to know her stories.
You may know her stories.
That's what you may know. But if you Google J. Michael Wiltsey at yahoo.com, they both posted a lot on prisoner right forums and gun right forums and other things like that. So there's a whole like internet history of him and her, you know, debating prisoner and gun rights on the internet, and it's still available.
Huh. Interesting. Mr. GG, anything?
I got two shitty answers to this question. My first one is I would honestly just love to interview some of the kids of these predators, because I want to ask them. I want to know how many kids actually still stand behind their father pulling some shit like this, like actually want to defend him, and or otherwise, you know, how would it feel like having kind of like your hero taken down a notch, because that's your dad, that's the person you've been looking up to all your life, and then he pulls some fucking shit like this. Like, was he a piece of shit beforehand, or was this a surprise to you or something like that? And my second shitty answer to this is This is not a family member, but I want to talk to, or it could be a family member. I want to talk to Shaka Khan's friends or family members. and let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I want to talk to Shaka Khan's friends. When this guy's getting interrogated, he seems like a personable guy. He seems like, you're at a cookout with him having a beer. He seems like an all right dude. Like, you get some laughs out of him. So I want to know if that's really him outside of that, and just because it boggles my mind that he does such fucked up shit. But he seems like if I went to the bar with him, had a beer, like he's a cool guy to hang out with. I don't know.
You know what? Can I supplement my answer? I after hearing that, now I think about Loverman Genius. I'd love to talk to some of his gym buddies. I'd love to hear what they had to say after he got featured on the show, because he's a personal trainer. You can tell the dude's fucking got gains. He fucking ripped, dude. He's huge, and he couldn't step foot back in that gym without all those dudes going, "What the fuck, bro? You were chasing a fucking 13-year-old, bro. What the fuck?" I'd love to hear what those guys had to say, like about him, like in that whole situation. So.
Lantic City.
Yeah, I would have to say Dustin McFedger's mom.
Old D-Mac. D-Mac.
Yeah, D-Mac's mom. He said, just gonna kill my mama. Just ask her if that what she felt about D-Mac being arrested. With everything that was found, with all the loads and loads of child porn and all that shit. And then ask her about the wrestling buddy. I mean, there's so many different interesting things about D-Mac. I think that I would like to get further answers on.
Do you think he had more wrestling CDs or child pornography CDs?
Hey, go find your own.
Porn. Definitely, it wasn't. He ain't. I think he probably had a lot of his little wrestling buddies' friends DVDs or whatever CDs, photo CDs, all just spread across his room and shit. But I'm pretty sure he had a lot more stuff with children on it. I mean, 120 images or videos or some shit. I think it said. Last time I checked, correct me. But yeah, I mean that's a lot, I would say.
Mike V, go ahead.
All right, well, I have a joke answer and I have a legitimate answer. My joke answer would be, I would cross in to the afterlife to talk to Daniel Polito's cousin, who doesn't exist, and ask her what the afterlife is like, because she's dead.
She's dead.
That's her. That's
not
her
first
age
time she
too.
dead. She raped first time.
That's her age.
How old
too.
is she?
She's dead. She's dead.
She's 10-year-old.
She's a dead. And I want to say my second answer would be Jay Reffner's wife, Mrs. Meat Rocket. First of all, I'd like to ask her, how was that camping trip that night? And did you turn your cell phone off? And the other reason is I really just sincerely want to know, and it's not really my place to judge or anything, but it's like, what does she see in this man? What does she see in this man? Now, Jay had stated that she had 2 kids from a previous marriage, and then they had a daughter together. Now, did that marriage just end badly, and she was just on the rebound, and then the first guy she saw, hello there, Cheryl. I work with computers, and I have a laptop that has a lot of blocks on it.
I oversee like 5 people.
Oh, yeah. And it's 14 Nevada Lane. We can live there. And so I want to know if she was on the rebound and what she saw in that man. Just curious. Curious predator.
It's kind of cheating because it's not quite a family member, but who wouldn't want to know what the tag-along was thinking? I would love to know Sebastian's tag-along's story. All I want to know is, what did he prompt him to say, hey, you want to come with me on this trip? Yeah, sure, where are we going? And then fill in the blank. Like, what did he say? Oh, I'm going to meet this girl. Oh, I'm going to meet this 12-year-old.
Dan, did you see the video I made about that?
About how he wanted like money to talk or something like that?
But he mentions a couple times what Sebastian said.
What was that? Indulge me.
Off the top of my head, I don't remember, but there's a video about the tag along, and he says something like, Sebastian said we're going to go out and get some drinks. But it could have been a lie, what he's saying.
And drinks they got. they did get drinks.
But I'm sure that he knew. He had to have known. They had a long drive out there. He's not going to surprise him with a 12-year-old. I'm sure he knew.
But all right. If I was to actually pick a family member, I think Dr. Maurice Wallen's daughters would make for a good interview. And I mean, on top of that, like, of course, it would be a good interview. Like, what do you think of this guy who, on all other accounts, has been a very successful member of society? Who, he was a doctor. He was well respected. What do you think of him now? Especially since he's been able to somewhat save face after being, featured on the show. And I also have it on good authority that his daughters kind of grew up and they grew up to be hot. So I would like to interview them because I think they're cute. But that's just me.
He was also kind of despised at work from all the messages that you see out there, especially on that.
You don't say.
Link from San Francisco. I mean, people just seem to hate him. And we're kind of happy that this happened to him.
I can't imagine where a Predator featured on the show was a very loved member of the community, and they were just distraught. Dustin McFetridge or Schumacher, all of a sudden got caught up in this.
No, come on, dude. I think you're way off base. I think Jeff Stacy was everybody's favorite deli counter worker down in Lebanon. I bet you when people went to the deli down in Lebanon, they were just happy to see Jeff. Oh, can I get you your corned beef today? Like, they all loved him. Come on.
All right, guys. That's all I've got for you today. If anybody wants to add anything, go ahead. Otherwise, sign off. Everybody promote your channel. Everybody plug something, but do it while impersonating a predator. Ember, go first.
I know this pinche puta whore named Emma. Her channel has songs. She sings mean songs about me. I don't know why she does that, but she also talks shit about other predators who were real predators, by the way. I was the only one who wasn't on there. But I have one of my songs on there too. If you watch it, you'll agree with me that I belong on American Idol. And maybe in a concert. Would you come to my concert?
I absolutely would come to your concert. Lantic City, take it away.
Well, I got Interrogation of a Predator, season 4 with Timothy Kine. Still got some episodes of that left. I got a Ronell Stevens video that's coming out real soon. I think it's his name, Ronell Stevens. And that's really about it. Saturday night chat log, still a thing. That's still happening. That's really about it.
Looking forward to it. Mista GG.
Oh, jeez. I'm shit at impressions, dude. Okay, I'll go Dustin. I feel like that's the best I could do. I'll make Predator content too. My name is Mista GG, and I'd like you to comment.
Nice.
And I'd like you to subscribe.
Please do, or else his mama is going to be upset.
Would you like to subscribe in my mouth, pussy, or ass first?
Awesome.
You're doing an awful lot of laughing.
Brother Josh, you have the next half hour to promote your channel.
Well, I'll tell you, I'll take that CawdCast and shove it down his throat. Cod. Pretty weird.
Oh my god.
Mike V, give us some inspirational words. Go ahead.
Well, I got a couple of buddies with me right now, so that they want to get on and say a couple of words. Okay.
Oh, I would love to hear them all. Bring them out.
All right. My first friend here, he's 46-year-old Anthony Palumbo, and he's brought a gift. My excuse to come to this CawdCast, I wanted to talk to Atlantic City. And then I got one more friend with me. Thanks, Anthony. I mean, Chris. You said your name was Chris in the chat. Never mind. Chris. You said your name was Chris, and you're 39. Okay, I have a Mr. Terry Warner with me who would like to say a couple of things about my former YouTube channel. Hi, this is Terry Warner. I'm the Predator from New Jersey that bought candles and looks like George Lucas. Okay, I'm sorry about the prequels. Okay, but Mike can't have his channel right now because he talked to a friendly lawyer and he can't do it anymore. But if he does bring his videos back, he'll bring candles and he'll provide you with entertainment, sexual entertainment.
Nice.
Christ. Joey, take it away.
Michael Graber from New Jersey. You gonna watch this CawdCast? Is anybody in the house gonna watch this CawdCast? I hope that you watch it.
Well, guys, thanks for joining us. Lantic City, Brother Josh, Mista GG, Mike V. Happy to have you as always.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys, and as always, until next time. It's been pretty weird. Cut.
My face looks like a fire burned me. I'll ask you why about 10 times. In my balls the semen's churning. Fire web can be a star. What you wear